What's up, it's Brandon Copeland, aka Kong. I'm here with Mr. Jason Bodi, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and also black belt in Taekwondo. We are at Bayview Jiu-Jitsu and Taekwondo, which is where I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. How you doing tonight? Awesome. Tonight we're gonna share 2 good techniques. Stay tuned.
Tonight at Bayview Jiu-Jitsu is we worked on the combat base, okay? We're working on getting rid of this hook right here and putting pressure on his knee. And I'm angling it so he can't get a de la Hiva or anything going. And then I'm blocking out his leg so he can't get his leg going at all. And what we did tonight is we did X-pass, we did the knee through, and we did the smash pass. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna show the smash pass. And this is the way Chris Blanky showed it to me. So this is if they grab your ankle over here. So you grab my ankle. So I can't, right now I can't do an X pass. He has a really good grip, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna push this knee over just to where it's on this side of my body. And then I'm basically gonna jump and get my body nice and heavy on his leg and heavy up top. So if he goes to lift his knee, there's no lift. Now from here, I go right to the mount.
My favorite position is the deep half. Anything from open guard, knee shield, deep half, X guard I've been trying to work on lately. But my main position is deep half. I love it. What people struggle with the half guard is getting flattened out, and the entry to the half guard is the technique in itself. A lot of people get smashed, a lot of people get their guards passed. So when people play against experienced deep half guys, especially when people who know me, when I train with, help me make my half guard better because they defend it. So one thing I've been working on from here is when I start from the knee shield, right here, the guys lately like to put their hands on the belt, okay? Get a good here, and they like to keep a good distance here. So now I can't come in. Every time I try to rotate in, we got in here, got stuck here, can't get in, can't get deep. They just get me with the underhook here, then I'm in bad shape. So what I do is I gotta break his top grip, okay? That's the most important for me. What I do is I take both hands here, and the way I do is I extend him a little bit, stretch and pop. Okay, now once I do that, I don't stop here. I begin to swim, okay? Swim here, rotate all the way through, and be able to get to my deep half here. So Jason, how long have you been training martial arts now? I know you're a black belt in Taekwondo too. So how long was it Taekwondo, then Jiu-Jitsu? Like, tell me how long you was training Taekwondo and what was the transition between the two that got you interested in doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well?
Let's see. I was, I did Taekwondo from age 16 till about 30-some years old.
Now how old are you now? 12? 22?
51. 51. That's right, 51. And the way I got into Jiu-Jitsu actually is I had a student by the name of Jim Trough. He was one of my black belts, and he went away to Oklahoma for a year. He couldn't find a Taekwondo school, so he did Jiu-Jitsu. And when he came back after about a year, we sparred because we were Taekwondo black belts, and really not much had changed there. But then he said, "Hey, what do you say we go to the ground? I want to show you what I did for the last year." And I was completely out of my element. And I'm just the type of person that if I see something as a weakness, I want to make it a strength. And so now I feel as comfortable on the ground, if not more, than standing up. So.
What would you say your biggest accomplishment as a martial artist is? Like, what do you what really drives you as a martial artist? Is it competition? Is it being an instructor? Is it earning your black belt? What would it be?
I would say my biggest kick, and it has always been, is having an effect on people. As a black belt in Taekwondo, I had to come to realize that even though when I was young I could kick straight up and down, a student can't relate to that.
Right.
So I had to learn to, still try to impress upon the student they have a lot to learn, but at the same time, show them that they're making progress and that it's not so far away. But that's my biggest kick, is just having an effect on people's lives. I don't care what tournaments they win, and if they want to, that's great. But that's not my main focus.
So, being a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, the process of that is a very, very long time in the perspective of other martial arts. I know I started off in judo, and it would take 5 to 6 years to get a black belt in judo, and it's technically roughly 10 and above to obtain a black belt. Belt to belt, in a short sum, what was that process for you like? Because I know, like me, you took time off due to an injury. I took time off for other reasons.
Right.
So from belt to belt and finally getting there, what was that journey like?
Well, the road to 4-stripe blue wasn't that bad, but then I had an injury where, you feel right here, I popped my rib out.
Right, I remember you telling me.
And I was gone for 8 years. Our other martial arts school had closed, and that was kind of a saddening thing for our whole student base, and it kind of knocked me out of the game for 8 years. So the hardest part was coming back as a 4-stripe blue, and in Chris Blanky's academy, and getting on the mat, and my timing's gone, no endurance, and just getting wrecked by everybody. But then, I just focused on things that would make a difference with my jiu-jitsu, and that's what I encourage everybody to do. There's little steps that you can take that make the journey, much better. Try to learn how to slow people down as opposed to trying to overpower people.
Right.
But it's been an amazing journey, and probably one of the most proud moments of getting a black belt, for sure.
If you have any advice, because me and you talked about this before, the blue belt blues, what you get is guys who come and obtain a blue belt. That's about a year and a half process, and they have a little bit better understanding of jiu-jitsu, but then they disappear. So if you had any advice, being a black belt, to give somebody who is having, because we go through those stages where we feel stuck, our technique's not working as much, and what we really is not realizing as a younger belt, blue belt, to maybe a newer purple, is that everybody we train with know our style.
Right.
So that just really enhances what we do. And every time, if you're a competitor, when you go compete, guys aren't really gonna know what you do.
Right.
So what would be your advice to a younger belt who is having these issues?
Well, first of all, if they think that that's only an experience you have at blue belt, they're sadly mistaken. I mean, I dealt with that as a purple belt. I really dealt with that as a brown belt. And the thing is, just because you put a belt on does not mean ability-wise you're at that level.
Right.
I really feel that you have to grow into every belt. And it's usually not till around my 3rd, 4th stripe that I even start to feel like I'm getting the feel for that belt. So I would just tell people that, like I always do, it's a grinder, and it's probably one of the hardest things, but the most rewarding things you're going to do in your life. And just along the lines of what Chris Blanky said, you may be a new blue belt, but you're really an old white belt.
Yep.
And plus realize that once you rank up, there's a bullseye on your back. And when you get the black belt, there's a bullseye on your back for every rank on that mat. So it's even more challenging than purple, but it never ends.
And I always explain to people the 2 hardest belts, I believe, is when you were blue belt, and
for sure,
that blue belt to purple belt transition. And then as a purple belt, you're kind of figuring it out. And then a brown, you guys you go against are going to be really good. And that becomes the experience in your time on the mat.
Right.
And then black belt is super hard because you got black belts who 4th, 5th degrees who've been black belt for 10 to 12 years.
For sure.
So these are two hardest belts. So the struggle is going to come. Struggles will. Thank you, Jason, for a good class as always. Bayview Jiu-Jitsu, Brandon Kong Copeland. We got my professor. I'm gonna call him professor. He doesn't want me to because he said he should have a stripe. He has that respect of it, but I'm so used to calling black belt professor, so he probably kick my butt next class. However, subscribe to the channel, man. Bayview Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Awesome.
What's up, Brandon, aka Kong? What the fuck? Got it. One more time.